And have you found that you get a lot of your students wanting to become teachers? Do you find that progression? Oh, really? Okay.
It's quite, sometimes it's quite, well, it's quite funny. It can go from their first class, their first class coming in, they've never practiced before. They come outside to the corridor, I want to be a teacher. That's lovely, I love your enthusiasm, but let's just stay on the mat for about another 2.5, 3 years. You know, and then you'll get the regular people that are coming in. Maybe they've practiced before they came here, and they found a kind of niche in yoga that they really like, something that their personality fits into as well. But again, I would say exactly the same thing. Please practice solidly for 2.5, 3 years minimum before you even think of doing any teacher training. You know, because there is such a thing, and it is, I think we need to talk about it, there is a burnout thing. Right. People go and they do a teacher training, and then they'll come in and teach, but they don't realise the amount of energy that it takes. Yeah, it does. And then they burn out. It does. And it affects your own practice as well. Totally. I've certainly felt that. The more you teach, the less time you have to do your own practice. And that actually affects your teaching as well. It does. So the more you practice, the more enthusiasm you have to give to your teaching. And the more you feel. Right. You know, because you're speaking from this morning's practice. Exactly. You know, you're teaching from this morning's practice, something that you found. Right. And if we find it, we know that somebody else is going to feel exactly the same thing. It's true, and it's very authentic teaching, actually. It's very difficult to teach if you're not practicing. You really don't feel honest. I think I totally agree. Yeah. The business component in it, make sure that you know, make sure that you're actually, that you know the person that you're going to. Yeah. It's hard spending a little bit of time with them, and you know they're very they tend to be quite expensive, these teacher training courses. So it's important that you have a connection with them as well. Definitely. Yeah. Invest in it, but invest your time checking out all the background as well. So your teacher training course, what experience do you ask? Minimum 2.5 years. Right. Minimum. And is that any style of yoga? Any style. Yeah. Any style. Because the teacher training is, although it says a combination of krama vinyasa, it also, you can have the ability to come in and teach in a hot room as well. Okay. Hot teacher training is environment. Yeah. It's a different environment. Yeah. It's a slightly faster paced teaching dialogue that you're going to use. Yeah. There's a lot more energy that you have to use, but you've got your basis from your krama. Yeah. You know, if you think of how many words you use to describe a sun salutation, it doesn't change really. You know, there's so much to say and there's so much to do, and it just depends on the energy of the teacher. Yeah. The first training course I was ever in was the Bikram. I went to LA. Yeah, it was the very first training course I ever did. It was 3 months, best part of 3 months we were away. I didn't teach a full class. That whole 3 months, I did not teach 2 poses together. Oh really, is that right? Yeah. So they were very much training you for everybody to be exactly the same? Exactly the same. Exactly. They did not want anyone to show their personality. Yeah. It had to be verbatim. Yeah. It had to be exactly the same thing. Now, when I came back to Jersey, and one of the guys I was working with, Gary, fantastic, just threw me in. Yeah. Threw me literally from the bridge into a class, and it was terrifying. Came out after my first class, and I think I cried for 2 minutes. You know, because you're so critical of yourself. You didn't do that, you didn't see this. And it's funny, a lot of students don't notice this sort of stuff, though. But when you first start, you're very hard on yourself, I think. But you need to do that, you just need to get it over with. And just get it done, build that confidence up. Yeah. And I think that's one of the big things where the way that we teach in the teacher training is you have to bring yourself out in the class. We've got to see you, because you're going to teach. It's people that are going to come to your class. Yeah. They're not coming to mine, they're coming to yours. So it's developing a teacher. And to develop a teacher, you can't develop a teacher if you've got 35 other, trainees in the room. You've got to keep the numbers small. You've got to keep it intense. Yeah, and it's about finding their own voice, right? Exactly. Yeah, and their confidence, the way that also, you know, where they are going to be as a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
Where's their fields? Where are they going to be really strong?
Yeah.
You know, it's everyone's different. Not everybody might love Ashtanga, everybody might love going into a vinyasa class, but they might not be a vinyasa teacher.
Yeah,
you
sure,
could be a hatha, a beautiful hatha teacher.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's finding where your personality fits in.
Yeah, and also following your passion, I think, a lot as
Yes.
well. You tend to kind of, if you do a particular practice, then usually following that and teaching that, you're really coming from a place of authenticity when you're teaching, because you love it.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And it shines out.
Yeah, right.
It really shines out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about standards of yoga, because it's quite a contentious issue at the moment. You're probably aware that there are teacher training courses all over the place. A lot of them have very poor standards. I actually saw last week one teacher training course is selling online for £12.99. I'm not joking. I'm not joking, £12.99. It's online, it's called an accredited professional course. Now, it is, you know, it's ridiculous, of course, but this is happening. And the problem with that is people are doing these teacher training courses and then they're categorising themselves as teachers, they're looking for work, or, you know, they're setting up their own classes in church halls. Now, how does this, what's your view on this? How does this affect you potentially? How does it affect all yoga teachers out there?
To me, anything that I've ever done, I've always wanted to have the knowledge behind me.
Yeah.
I think your knowledge, your practice is your power. Now, if someone came into me asking, it was a Pilates course that she was going to attend.
Okay.
Now, the Pilates course that she was about to attend was over a weekend. It was over 3 days. She wanted to take her class because she wanted me to hire her as a teacher when she came back after her 3 days.
Right, okay.
So when I was explaining to her, she said to me, how long did your Pilates class, how long did your training last for? And I said, well, the first part of it was a 5-day intensive, and then we were given course manuals and books. The second part was another 5 days. We had umpteen different assessment, umpteen different course pads to actually go through.
Yeah.
It says the training was over 3 months, not 3 days, 3 months. Now, if that course is 3 days, and the course we're talking about for £14,
it's online, it's all
so
online, yeah.
there's no contact with the teacher.
That's a big thing. There's no contact with the teacher. I also think it's a big deal. I mean, I've been through the process as well, and it's unless you work in a job where you already teach a class, you need to build up that confidence of being actually teaching a class, the practicalities of that. And that's what you don't get. And a lot of these teacher training courses, which are quite intensive as well, you don't have that. You just don't have time to actually stand up and build that confidence. So that's a big deal. So you do that, and you allow your students to
From the very first day, very first day, straight in.
Yeah.
Their facial expressions are hilarious because they don't have language.
Yeah.
You see, you have to learn to speak.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what comes out your mouth.
Yeah, it's just getting over that.
It's getting over that hurdle of actually speaking out loud, of projecting your voice out.
Yeah. So, just in terms of the accreditation or standards at the moment, where do you see things going in the next 10 years? I mean, if you've got, basically from Yoga Alliance professionals' point of view, we're really trying to raise awareness when it comes to standards, certainly minimum standards, saying practitioners, you should be looking for something in your teacher. So it starts to build up an idea of you really want to find good standards in your teacher and not nothing poor. So where do you see things going in the next 10 years or so?
Teachers have to do CPDs.
Further training.
They have to do CPDs.
Right.
And I know this was a big discussion point, especially with Yoga Alliance, because they were actually saying, we can't afford to do this.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, you can't afford to be knowledgeable.
Yeah. So from Yoga Alliance professionals' point of view, it's a really interesting issue, because we previously used to say, okay, you need to do at least 8 hours per year.
Yes.
And that worked, but the problem was people were doing very poor courses. Because we were wanting to raise the standards, we then started doing our own. But then of course people are like, I want to do this one, I want to do this one. So it was very difficult to kind of regulate from that point of view. So we're really trying to actively encourage people to do further training, but we want them to do it with experienced teachers, not brand new teachers. So this is where we come from. And you, where's your point of view from that, do you think?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, because there are a lot of new teachers who they're really talented because they're very passionate.
Yeah.
You don't know their background. Their background could come, there's so much passion involved.
Yes.
I don't think anyone is actually saying that they don't have anything to give. What I think the point is, are we just dealing with asanas now?
Yeah, well this is...
Are we just dealing with asanas?
Yeah, this is a really interesting question, because arguably, I mean, asanas is huge, but is it taken away from the core of yoga? Through all this noise of asana and gymnastics, and Instagram and all that sort of stuff, do you feel it's really taken away from the core of yoga? Do you think people should be teaching more pranayama and meditation?
I looked into a teacher's eyes one day when I said nayama, and there was a blank look. Complete blank look. Didn't know anything. I hadn't a clue what I was talking about. And her face told me she didn't know. When I said, and then I sneakily said, where's your lineage? Again, blank look.
Yeah, so this is maybe quite common, I think.
So where, if we are doing these teacher trainers and we are teaching lots and lots of students, I think there's a big difference of having a piece of paper in your hand and actually, and you will find, studio owners will find this, you know, I'm forever, my ears are up, my eyes are up. I'm forever listening or looking for someone that's got a little bit more, just a little bit more, someone that's really interested in something. Because Louise, you can't just turn up with a teacher certificate and say, I'm teaching and I'm worth £45 for this class, just because you're present. What else are you bringing? What further energy are you actually ready to give? So we've got a lot of people wandering around, even Glasgow, with certificates in their hand. If you were to ask them to come in here, and I asked a girl to come in here one day and teach a vinyasa class. What she taught was an hour's primary sequence. Now that's not a vinyasa class. I'm asking you to teach a vinyasa class, but I was trained in Ashtanga. I said, it's beautiful. I love an Ashtanga class, but that's an Ashtanga class. That's not a vinyasa class. So if you're telling me that you're a vinyasa teacher, but you're teaching a set sequence, we have a confusion here. There is a little bit of a confusion going on. So it's trying to raise the awareness to say, are you willing? You know, when you practice, are you passionate?
Me, of course.
I'm really passionate when I practice. See, when I step in the room, I'm so passionate sometimes I run over in time. So if you need passion.
Absolutely.
And passion means you're never, from the time that you start to the time that you finish, you never stop learning. Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thank you.